Hi guys, today we're going to do the first series of the, what's the thing called again? Today we're going to be doing the first series of the Coronavirus Chronicle that I mentioned in my previous video of what we can be doing whilst we are in lockdown. And the first one today is going to be accounts. Now, people know me as a serial saver. At the moment, I'm trying to save up for a wedding and I'm also trying to save up for a house. To be fair, my bank account needs to touch Jesus's garment. That's what it needs right now, okay? But I've been able to actually save quite a lot because we have coronavirus at the moment. I'm not going to cinemas, I'm not buying clothes, I'm not buying quite a lot of stuff. It might be a bit of a detailed video, this one. I'm definitely sure it would help you out. I know I'm not an expert in this, but trust me when I say I have saved a lot of money using these methods. So it's going to be broken down into two avenues. It's going to be the mindset and it's also going to be the technical. When I say technical, it doesn't mean that it's going to be out of this world formulas and stuff, but just little things that can help us and guide us through maintaining on our account. Let's begin. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about mindset. One of the first things that come to mind is understanding your necessity and understanding what your wants are. A lot of people confuse the both. I live in the UK. You have this thing called first world problems. For example, some people believe that it is needed for them to keep up with trends, have the new hairstyle, have the new clothes, have the new shoes. And because of the generation that we live in right now, it does emphasize the whole need to keep up with Instagram, keep up with social media. If you are comparing yourself, best believe me, you will not be able to save as much as you need to save. We shouldn't gratify ourselves now for future damnation. Be a cheapskate. There's no need for you to go out every day. There's no need for you to go to America this year and then Dubai. There's not even need for you to be eating out every other day. If you show some discipline and you show some self-control, you'll find out that you're saving way more money than you ever expected. And when you do end up going out to treat yourself, it will feel more gratifying. Let's be honest, are you going to live in a Gucci bag? And if you said yes to that question, you're destined to be a sugar baby, okay? Another mindset that we need to incorporate, just because it's on sales doesn't mean you need to buy it. You did not save £75, you spent £25. These are marketing strategies in order for you to buy them. And this is why I said before, buy what you need, not what you want. I'm not buying stuff that on sales that I'm never ever going to wear, but because it's so cheap, like it's £5 and it used to be £100, I need to have. No, you do not, honey, breathe. You do not need to have it. And the last mindset that I want to point out for today is that there's no such thing as having extra money to spend. So what I mean by this is, if you end up having extra money than your usual income, so for example somebody gives you a gift of £200, you got a tax refund, or any other way that you end up having more money, this is not extra money for you to just spend and be like, oh yeah, okay, that means I can buy that new shoe, I can buy that new bag. No, this is money for you to put in your savings account. So let's recap on those mindset. The first one is understanding your necessities and your wants. The second one is just don't buy it because it's on sales. And the third one is making sure you understand there's no such thing as extra money to spend. I have a few other mindset that I go back to when I want to save or spend, but for the sake of this video, not to make it too long, those are the three that I want us to focus on. Now we're going to move to the technical bit of stuff. So the first thing is you need something called a savings account. Back in the day, I made the grave mistake of just saving my money in my current account. Now the beauty of having a savings account is that they pay you money for just having your money in there, and this is called interest. The interest does vary from bank to bank, and also it varies from account to account. For example, with some savings account, you can't take the money out of there whatsoever, or else you lose your interest. For some of them, you have to put £50 per month in order to get the interest. For some of them, you might not even need to put anything at all. So you need to make sure you've read the terms and conditions on these things just to make sure that you've signed up for the right one. Sometimes they can give up to £10 a month on your interest. That's £10, guys, that you did not work for, and it all does add up, especially when you start spending for just your needs and not your wants. At the moment, some savings accounts aren't doing that well anymore just because of the whole corona pandemic, and the banks have had to reduce their interest on some stuff. Once anti-Rona has finished and left, I'm pretty sure the interest will go back up. Alongside having a savings account, I would definitely say that you need to set up a standing order for the money to leave your current account to your savings once your income comes. You don't have to do this, but this is great for people who just want to keep on top of their money and don't want to mistakenly spend it. And that's why it's also advised for you to pay your bills first before you even start spending on other stuff, because you need that house, you need that water, you need that gas. I think it would be good for me to add here that I have something called a rainy day account. I have another account altogether which has £200 in there, so I never actually have to go into my savings. So even in the month, if my current account is lacking a bit, my rainy day money can cover me, because I don't want to make the habit of having to go into my savings regularly. I've never really needed the rainy day money, but it is there if needed, so I think that would be a very great thing for you to have. The second technical stuff that I would mention is make a survival budget. This is something that I'm going to show you on my laptop. This is an example survival budget. Hopefully the word survival budget is self-explanatory. It's literally a budget that you would need to survive on. Over here on the left hand side corner says current financial situation. In the current account it says £50, and savings it says 6,000. Now usually I would honestly say have as less as you can in your current account, because if you put in your savings, that means you have more interest coming through, because the more the money is in your savings, the more interest you do get. So I would never put too much in my current account personally. I only put money for my food, money for the things I'm going to spend for that month, and we'll see what it is in our survival budget. So on the far right is your end of year goals, and here we have savings account, how much you want by the end of the year, and also credit cards and loans, which is basically how much debt you would want to pay off. You can add credit cards or loans to your current financial situation as well to see how much you've got going on right now. And then in the middle we've got income. Here we have work, how much do you earn, and also others. This survival budget is for a month, your income for a month. Moving down, we've got survival budget. So these are the expenses and the amounts in pounds. So you can have different things that are necessary. So mine is split into mortgage, council tax, gas and electricity, water rates, telephone, entertainment, car tax, and you put these things along the side. Now if you know how to do it, I would definitely say do that thing where if you put in the numbers, then the amount at the bottom will change. So for example, if I put £300 in savings now, that would change to 1,200 for me. My boyfriend did it for me. I am not that technical savvy to do that type of thing at the moment, but I'm sure there's videos out there to teach you on how to do that. I pay my tithe, so I never forget that no matter how much I get in a month, I will always pay my tithe. And then based on that, when I add everything together, all my expenses, they come up to 900. And then if you take the 900 away from your income, 1,100, you will be able to get how much you can actually save, which will be £200. So that's how you work that out. Now this will navigate how much you should be spending per month. And also I update mine every 3 months, so you can make one for July, you can make one for October. You can update it as many times as you want, or maybe not at all if you've not got any significant life changes. For example, some people have an increase or bonus at work, and they'll still be saving the amount of money that they were saving when they didn't have that increase, and that shouldn't be, because you won't be maximizing your money. You would think literally that you have extra money, but you don't. You don't at all. The next and last technical thing I would say to do is to track your spending. Now once again, I'm going to move to computer to show you guys how I do that. So with this one as well, I use Google Sheet. There's something called annual budget that is a template that's just there for you to use. So to start with, on the annual budget tracker, it asks you for your starting balance. This is in dollars, but you can change it literally to any format you want. So if you highlight it and then go to format and then go to numbers over here, and then you can click pounds or more formats, but I'll click pounds for the sake of this. So it has 4 different icons at the bottom. It has setup, expenses, income, and summary. We're going to go to expenses, and over here we can see different things that you could possibly spend your money on from January to December. Now you can always edit it to suit what your needs are. So for example, I ain't got no kids, so bye bye. Also at the same time, you can change things. So if you have debt, for example, you can change this over here to maybe you're paying a friend. So you can put a friend's name here, and in January I have paid this friend this. At the same time, you can delete stuff that you don't need. So for example, in insurance over here, maybe you don't have a car, so you don't pay car insurance. You can just put delete row, and that will do. At the bottom it has others and different categories, because it might not have added some stuff for you. So for example, I have a friend's wedding coming up, so over here I do put my friend's name and I put wedding. So it puts in place a way for me to account for how much I am spending on my friend's wedding. For the sake of this video, I have already made an example annual budget. So over here we can see entertainment, and it shows book, concert, shows, game, photography, TV, and other stuff. and you can see the number over here, and then also the different things you spend in that 1 month in January. It does automatically add it up for you, and then at the side over here you can see how much you spent annually and on average how much you were spending. Let's just do a random number for March so we can see. So let's say £4 on book, £0 because coronavirus has started, so you had nothing. Let's say you spent a little bit more on games because fam, you're bored out here. Where you going to take photography and you're going nowhere, so 0 again. And on TV, because you have nothing to do, you spent more again, so let's put $40 over there. Over here we've got groceries, everyday stuff. Once again, we're in the coronavirus time, so let's say we spent 150, a little bit more. Restaurant, ain't anyone open, so personal supplies, let's put 60. Clothes, no. And then dry cleaning, you did your own dry clean. Hair and beauty, you did your own hair and you did your own nails and everything, so let's put 0. And for subscription, we'll also put the usual 10 over there. What's good about this annual budget sheet is the fact that you don't have to add stuff up by yourself. So for example, if I change the subscription to $15, this at the top should add up by itself, which is amazing. And at the same time, we're able to look at what we spend monthly and then compare it to our example survival budget. Here it says that I should be spending how much on groceries, food and housekeeping, £100. And then if I go over here and it tells me what I'm spending is 360, then I'm way above my budget. So you're able to decipher whether you're spending too much money on one item or whether your survival budget was incorrect in the first place. So we just press income over here and it has different subheadings. Once again, there's wages, so how much paycheck you get, tips, that's an American thing because ain't nobody getting tips in the UK, your bonus, your commission and other stuff. And then over here, transferring from savings, your interest that you get from your savings account, and give some people refunds. Which reminds me, Ryanair, give me my refund if you're watching this. I don't know why they would be watching this, but Ryanair, give me my refund. But going back to this, it is very important that you have all these stuff, because like I said, these monies, the gift and the refund, they're not money to spend, but they're money to put back into your savings. And sometimes when we do get them, we don't account for it. So it's amazing that it has that subsection right there. Now we're going to move on to the summary page. The summary page is amazing because it tells you exactly what your income is in that month, exactly what your expenses is altogether in that month, and how much you saved in that month. So according to this, in January there was 1,133, and then in expenses was $642. And because of that, that month itself I had £491, technically speaking, extra money. But as we say, extra money is not to spend, extra money is to save. So I could have easily just put that into my savings account. The same is in February as well. I don't really pay much attention to the ending balance because, as I said before, I don't keep a lot in my current account, so that amount would never be there. Mine literally probably say like £50 or something like that. All my money is either in my savings or not. Over here we can see the graph, but I'm not much of a graph person. I'll rather look at the numbers instead. So let's say this person lost their job, and because of that they had no income in March, but it also shows you your expenses were £309, and because of that this is highlighted and it shows you in that month you spent more than you got. There's a whole bunch of different stuff here as well where you can use to analyze what you're actually spending. So it breaks it all down to the different subcategories that we have, graphs and all that stuff. So I really hope that all made sense. This is how I personally keep account of my money and save to the max. Like I said before, I'm trying to save up for a wedding, I'm trying to save up for a nice house, I'm trying to save up for a nice honeymoon as well. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Coronavirus Chronicles. A is for accounting, and I'll see you in the next one.